Well, the democracy of Israel and the terrorist group Hamas are at war. The Canadian government has announced whose side it's on, Israel's. But a motley and multicultural crew in Toronto had a street protest last night for the other side. And our friend and web producer Paige MacPherson was there. Hey, Paige, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
So you went down to this anti-Israel, pro-Hamas protest on the streets of Toronto last night. How many folks were there?
I would put it at about 300 people. It was quite large.
Huh.
And then on the other side of the street, I would say there was about 75 people protesting, I guess, against that protest for Israel.
Now, you got some incredible footage. We're going to run two clips. The first one is you asking some great questions of these protesters. Without further ado, let's roll the clip.
Do you think that Israel has the right to defend itself when that occurs?
They're not defending themselves. They've been stealing people's land since 1946.
Do you think that Israel has the right to defend itself in that situation?
Well, Gaza has been under siege for a really, really long time, and I feel that it is self-defense for them if they fire a few rockets, but Israel has been killing people every day for a longer time than they have been firing back. So I feel like Hamas actually has the right to defend itself.
They do have the ability to get like missiles and to get an army, whereas Palestine has limited access to these things. So it's kind of like a little person against a big person. So in that sense, it's not fair.
These rockets don't actually have firepower.
They're rockets.
They are rockets. Yes, they have flight capability, but they don't have firepower to the same extent as phosphorus bombs that are being dropped on Gaza every single day.
The Palestinians, based on Geneva Conventions, have every right to defend themselves as an occupied nation.
Do you think that Israel has the right to defend itself?
That's not how it's framed. This is not the proper way to frame it. What's going on is there's been years of occupation and oppression on the part of Israel.
Do you think that Israel has the right to defend itself?
Israel has also been blocking Israel's been blocking essential medicines from entering Palestine, has been blocking staples like chocolates, has been blocking things like tools to repair the sewers that Israel bombed out in 2008. The United States and Israel refused to send those vital things and other medicines into Gaza. So when we talk about, like, does Israel have the right to reply to a few firecrackers thrown at it?
Do you support Israel's right to defend itself in that situation?
Well, only in the sense that I suppose I support the right of an adult to defend themselves when they're being attacked by a child with measures that are commensurate to the threat.
Do you think that the Jewish people have a right to a homeland in Israel or in the Middle East?
I don't want to answer. Sorry.
Sorry?
Sir, can you maybe ask someone else?
Israel, to me, should be gone, and instead of it, a democratic Palestinian state where Jews, Christians, Muslims, and others could live in peace.
Since you're protesting against war crimes for justice, during the Syrian aggression that's been going on for the past few months, have you protested that at all?
I haven't. I wasn't really into it.
During the conflict in Syria that's been happening over the past few months, have you protested that at all?
Yeah, I have protested against the mercenaries organized by Britain, by United States, and other Arab kingdoms who are infiltrating Syria in order to destabilize it.
So has the Ontario Coalition Against Poverty done anything to combat the aggression that's been happening in Syria? Has there been any protests outside of the Syrian consulate for the aggression against its own people?
No, but it's a lot more complicated than it's being presented in the news.
Do you think that Hamas should be a terrorist organization as it currently is classified?
Well, Hamas is about as much a terrorist organization as the government of Israel, in my opinion.
The government of Gaza, Hamas, is classified as a terrorist organization. Do you think that Hamas is a terrorist organization?
I condone all organizations that conduct violence against citizens. As much as we look at Hamas launching firecrackers into Israel, or Israel launching its F-16s into Gaza and using phosphorus bombs and the most advanced weaponry, the fact that Hamas is building like pipe bombs in basements with like the tools found at the hardware store.
Do you think that Hamas is a terrorist group?
I'm indifferent. You know what? I have to admit that I don't like any particular religion at all. So I don't like religions and organizations.
Holy cow, I can't believe you had the stomach or the courage to stand. How long were you there last night?
Probably for about 2 hours. It took them about 45 minutes for whoever, I guess, organized the protest to almost sick people on us to tell people to stop answering our questions once they figure out that we were from Sun News Network.
Some of their answers were just devastating. I mean, do you care about what happened in Syria? No. Do you think Hamas is a terrorist group? No.
Right.
I mean, there was some very strange. Some of those folks are clearly newcomers from the regime. I mean, the one guy who says he's actually in favor of Bashar Assad, that was surprising. Right. But I was surprised by the number of Canadian-born folks who, just for a leftist allegiance, are anti-Israel. Did that surprise you?
Yeah, it was strange. I mean, there definitely was a lot of people that just, university students. One girl actually told us, we asked her why she was there. Her answer was that she had taken a course at U of T and she had learned about it there, and that's why she decided to come
our universities
protest.
are the training camps for these whack jobs. So there's a funny allegiance, though. That one guy at the end who says he's against all religions. So he's a secular leftist, but he's teaming up with the radical jihadists who are shouting Allah Akbar at the end. I don't think he gets it, but he's against Western civilization. Now, you mentioned that after about 45 minutes, they keyed into the fact that you weren't a friendly journalist. You've got a clip of what happened when some of the bosses of this rally found out you were with Sun News. Let's roll that clip now.
We can get you someone to speak if you want.
What do you mean somebody to speak? Can I do an interview with you?
I prefer someone else to speak. We can get someone to speak on behalf of the people here.
Okay, well, we're just getting the general opinion. Excuse me, would you mind answering a few questions for me? What are you protesting today?
I came here because what's happening in Gaza. I'm from Palestine.
Occupation is a crime! Occupation!
Yeah, sorry, I was.
Don't do the interview. So don't do it. Tell them no.
Okay, I don't know.
Why can't he speak? Why can't he tell us what he thinks?
What news organization are you with?
Why can't he answer our question?
He can answer. He's free to do. No, what news organization are you? Who are you? Where's?
We only talk to real journalists.
What news organization are you?
I'm with Sun News Network.
Oh yeah, we only talk to news organizations, actual news organizations.
Why won't you talk to us?
Because we only talk to real news organizations.
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Smut peddlers out of here!
You stick that in my face, you're gonna lose it, bud.
You're gonna lose it? Feel free.
They want to take opinions. Give them opinions. Tell them what you think. That's good.
Okay, I'll shoot that.
Wait, why are you blocking our camera? Huh? Why don't you want us to get your opinion?
What's that?
Why don't you want us to get your opinion?
Huh? What's that?
Oh, that's lovely.
That guy we already interviewed. Some questions?
Sure.
Okay.
It's Sun News.
Oh, wow. All right.
I guess once they found out you were with the Sun and asking tough questions rather than loving questions, they didn't want the interview to continue. How was that then? Did you ever feel like you were in some physical danger there, a little bit like what happened in Tahrir Square? There was only 300 bad guys, not 3,000 around you, but did you feel in danger?
Well, they were certainly trying to intimidate me and the two guys that were with me. We had a cameraman and somebody else. The other guy that was with us from Sun News actually got pushed. Our cameraman was hit with flags. They were putting the flags over us, draping them over our shot. You could hear it in that shot a little bit. One of the guys actually bit my mic, put the whole microphone in his mouth. So, yeah.
Yuck. Well, get some Purell for that.
Yeah.
Listen, Paige, you're a brave woman to go out there. I think the very fact that you are a woman not wearing a burqa probably caused them to be furious to begin with. I'm glad you're fighting for freedom. It's important that we see what's going on in the streets of Canada. That's a degree less than what's going on in some of the streets in Europe and Arabia, but it's important that we see we're moving in the wrong direction.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being here.